What's up, people? I thought I'd take a look at Xhaka today and actually our midfielders so we can see what they've been doing throughout the first four games. It's a really good way to judge the impact of each player, and I talk about the difference that a player makes on the field, and what we're looking for is we're looking for those duels, we're looking for those tackles, we're looking for those passes intercepted, because that's a measure of how hungry a player is on the field. It's a measure of how much urgency that player is putting in for your midfield. So let's roll it down. So Xhaka, who has 3 shots, 1 on target, he has no assists, no crosses, no big chance created. He's had 1 through ball, 10 fouls, 5 tackles, 1 passes intercepted, and he's had 7 clearances, 29 recoveries, and 18 duels won. When you compare that to Guendouzi, who's had 3 shots, 2 on target, 1 assist, 1 cross, 2 big chances created, 2 through balls, only 4 fouls. He's had nearly double the amount of tackles, which is 9. That's really important. He's had 1 block shot. He's had 9 passes intercepted compared to Xhaka's 1. So you always hear me say that in the end of my videos. Passes intercepted, that is your vision and your range. Your vision to spot danger before it happens, and your range in order to have the legs to get in between and disrupt that passing lane. We know it as playing your gaps. So you have a certain gap that you control on the field, which is what I was saying Ozil is really good at. People were saying Ozil doesn't make tackles. No, but what he does is he clogs up the passing lanes to disrupt the movement forward by the midfield, and he's very good at it, and that's how they teach you in the Dutch and German leagues. So we've got Guendouzi literally doubling the amount of passes intercepted. Also, Guendouzi has 7 clearances, and he also has 19 recoveries and 23 duels won compared to Xhaka's 18 duels won. We have Ceballos, 5 shots, 2 on target, 2 assists, 9 crosses. So just to put this into perspective, Xhaka has 0 crosses, 0 chances created, 0 assists. And what we have here is Ceballos, who's just blowing it away. He also has the same amount of tackles as Xhaka. But the one thing that we have to understand is Ceballos has played 203 minutes. And Xhaka has played 270 minutes. So Xhaka's played a whole hour more than Ceballos, yet Ceballos' stats is very comparative defensively. He's also had 22 duels won. Now, Ceballos has had 22 duels won, and Xhaka has only had 18, and Ceballos has played an hour less than Xhaka this season. So look, I'm not even going to go into Torreira. I think we're going to leave it right there. But what we've got is a player who's not having any impact on the game. And although he's played more, because he's first on the team sheet, I know he didn't start the first game, but he's played every minute since then, and he never gets substituted. This is the guy who you're building the future around. He's let you down. So when you guys heard me talk about the likes of Sanya, Nasri, Jack Wilshere, Van Persie, Gel Clichy, Adebayo, all these guys who have moved on to other teams, and they've said, well, it weren't happening at Arsenal, we weren't winning. You weren't winning. You were the one that was wearing a shirt. You were the one that was on the field. You were the one that was putting in the performances to make Arsenal fail. So it's easy to pick up and go and say, I'm going to go to a team and win a championship with, how much did those guys have to do with their future teams winning a championship? Apart from Fabregas and Henry, who played a massive role in Barcelona's treble and success, what really did the other guys do to impact the success of their other teams? Not much. And again, Van Persie scored all those goals, 34 goals with Manchester United, so he was accountable, but he was doing his job at Arsenal. He scored 37 goals for Arsenal the season before he went to Man United. So when he was asking for support and ambition from the board and they didn't give it to him, he belted off. And fair play to Van Persie. But let's get back to Xhaka. We've got a player here who's played the last 3 years, and we've not finished in the top 4. He has failed at every level. Statistically, he is among the last in his position as a holding midfielder in the Premiership. And that's coming off the back of someone like Francis Coquelin, who was at the top of the leaderboard. He led the league in tackles, led the league in passes intercepted, led the league in duels won. And we mooned them off to Valencia for 10 million euros. 10 million euros, and then bought Xhaka for 35. How does that make sense? So right now we're plugging in somebody who everyone's saying, oh, he plays his role, he's a good passer of the ball. But if he's a good passer of the ball, where are the chances created? Where are the through balls created? Where are the assists? Where are they? Look, many people tell me all the time, because I follow a lot of American sports, NBA, NFL, and a lot of people tell me I'm sucked in on stats. Yes, I am. You know why? Because stats identifies a player's worth. It tells you what people are doing on the pitch. And if you ignore those statistics, then you ignore the fundamentals of a player pulling his weight. It's as simple as that. I understand that there's some players who run around the field and make themselves, busy and heady and going. But what are you actually doing with that? What are you actually doing? He's not even leading the team in kilometers run. He's in the starting 11 that played against Liverpool. I think he was 8th. So he's run the 8th most out of the starting 11 against Liverpool and Tottenham over the last 2 weeks, out of the whole team. You're the captain. You're supposed to be someone who's rallying the troops, galvanizing. Do you remember what Beckham used to do for England? Do you remember what Tony Adams used to do? You know, even going up to Arteta. And Arteta used to galvanize the troops. I always say that Arteta was the last best captain that Arsenal's had. Everyone since Arteta has just been a pile of crap. They have been. They've not been leaders in any sense of the word. And when you look at what Guendouzi's doing, double the amount of tackles that Xhaka has, more duels, more the passes intercepted, double the amount of kilometers. The man is running his legs into the ground. That's what a captain should be doing. This is a 20-year-old who's outperforming someone who's supposed to be a veteran, world-class player. Well, nobody says Xhaka was world-class, but when he plays for Switzerland, people marvel about his performances. So what is it that we're missing here? And again, let's go back to Emery being meticulous. Being meticulous means to footprint every single finite detail that you can get. All the statistics, all the heat mapping, everything that a player's doing. Surely the manager must see that not only is this guy not putting in anything in the game, but he's also costing the team making mistakes, which is last season, he was at fault for 6 goals. 6. In Wenger's last season, he was at fault for 4 goals in the first 7 games. And he was still first on the team sheet. This is what I don't understand. The likes of Alex Ferguson, Pep, and Klopp would never, ever put somebody on the team sheet who was costing his team. They just wouldn't do it. That's the fundamentals of managing your team. You have to be able to tell everyone around you that what you're doing is not acceptable in regards to mistakes, and what you're doing is not acceptable in regards to input, in regards to putting effort in on the team. You're not running, you're not defending, you're not creating, you're not clogging up the passing lanes. So what are you doing? My friends, over to you. Right back at you, as I normally say. Welcome to all these new subscribers. You obviously like what you see, which is why you're subscribing. So I appreciate the love, and we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers really fast. And guys, honestly, I ain't really all about that. I ain't doing this to make money. I ain't doing this. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. And I'm doing this is because it ain't just all about AFTV. There's a lot of good Arsenal YouTubers out there. You know, shout out to all of you Arsenal vlogs, Cannon Fodder, Deluded Gunner. You all know about Lee Gunner, although he's big time right now. Lee is smashing it at the moment. But there's a lot of smaller channels out there that really have a lot of good content creators talking about some real issues. And I applaud all of you Arsenal fans that follow everybody, because that's what it's like. Look, we're not like any other Premiership top team that has their own TV channel. We used to on Sky, but then they closed it down after about 3 months. And watching YouTube with Arsenal content creators is great, because it's like coming home from work or driving in a car and having your own Arsenal TV channel. That's what it's like. And sometimes Arsenal Fan TV, which has 1 million subscribers, can be the lead channel. But then you got the BBC One, the BBC Two, the ITV, the Channel 4, the Channel 5. So then you got us guys that are just filling in the ranks. And that's what's good. It's healthy for the fan base. And I respect a lot of you guys who have been supporting us over the last year or so, or throughout this YouTube thing that started. So big up to you guys. It's really you guys that are pushing all of this, because if it, we're just here making videos and we're just here talking about the club that we love. If it wasn't for you guys who were watching all this content, we wouldn't be here. And that's the bottom line. If nobody was watching my videos, I wouldn't do it. It's as simple as that. So big shout out to you guys. Gooner Squad in the house, 101, and Arsenal discussions on Facebook. You guys know who you are. And listen, appreciate the love. But for me, this video is just about Xhaka's worth and why he should not be in the starting 11. And it's as simple as that. So let's see how this goes on. Coming up to international break, couldn't have happened at the best time, really. So we can see how Bellerin and Turney are getting on with their injury recoveries. Mkhitaryan has gone to Roma. Don't really know why he played, and something tells me that that's what his agent was working on, from what I'm hearing through the rumblings. And Emery had no idea that this deal was going down, and that's the reason why he played him. If he knew the deal wasn't happening, he wouldn't have put him on, because what you're doing is you're risking the player's injury and him failing a medical at the new club. And that's silly when you consider it's 200 grand off the books per week. It's a lot of money, lads. A lot of money. It's over 10 million a year. So well done, Arsenal. Let's put ourselves in a healthy position now for the January transfer market. Now we've got all that money saved and off the books, we can really look about building a team, and I love what I see right now. So listen, right back at you guys. Peace out.